Lewis Hamilton says he is massively excited for new beginnings, heading into Formula One's latest rules era after he drove Ferrari's 2026 car for the first time. Hamilton was back on track just 47 days after ending his difficult maiden season at the Scuderia in December, as he and teammate Charles Leclerc shook down the new SF-26 at Fiorano, Ferrari's test track, across a handful of laps on the day it was launched. And despite the expanded pre-season testing program required for the sport's all-new challengers having reduced the usual length of a driver's winter break, Hamilton said he was feeling refreshed and was keen to get going in earnest. If you probably look at all my other interviews all the other years, I would never say that I get excited for testing. But I'm massively excited, and I think that's okay to say that, he told F1. I'm excited for new beginnings. It's been such a focus on resetting, having a good break. The break, even though it was the shortest one we've ever had, I would say it was just what was needed. Learning new patterns and undoing patterns and removing things that don't serve me or bring the right energy and making sure you're just showing up in the right way. Hamilton and Leclerc will now head to Spain for F1 2026's Shakedown week, during which teams can run their car on 3 of the 5 days. It will be the first time teams will have seen what their rivals have developed for the start of the new rule set, which features major changes to chassis, aerodynamics, power units and fuel. Up close. I'm excited about the first test, added Hamilton. Obviously today you don't get to push it, but it feels cool at Fiorano. But obviously next week we will start to try and stretch the legs and see what this new generation of car is going to bring to all of us. Then it's kind of like unknown in what other people have, what tricks that other people may or may not have, and what concepts, all those sorts of things. I think for us, just keeping our heads down and focusing on our job. But the team feels refreshed and so much work from so many different departments here, it's awesome to see. So we've got to take this energy and just take it one day at a time. As Ferrari published the first images of the SF-26 to the world on Friday morning, the team were simultaneously putting it on track as fans watched on from outside the circuit permitter. It's so exciting when they fire the car up and you get the vibration of the new car through your body, said Hamilton. Literally, when they open the garage door, you can see the tifosi, and that's something I will never get used to, and something that I'll never be able to forget. But today is really about reconnecting with the team, reconnecting with that passion of all the people who follow this team. It really also reminds me of why I love doing what I do and love this sport. On the other side, the first of 3 F1 pre-season tests kick off in Barcelona next week. Here's everything you need to know about it. As a result of the biggest regulation shake-up in recent F1 history, 3 pre-season tests will take place before the opening round in Australia on the 8th of March. The first of these is a collective shakedown at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Spain. The first test will run between 26th, the 30th of January, and be held in private to enable teams and drivers to get to grips with their all-new F1 cars away from prying eyes and scrutiny of fans and the world's media. All 11 F1 teams are allowed 3 days of running out of the 5-day window. Here's what we know so far about which teams will run when. Ferrari to join on day 2. Ferrari will join McLaren in skipping the opening day of the shakedown. The Italian outfit are set to join the test on day 2 and also plan to run their 2026 car on Thursday, the penultimate day. Ferrari are yet to decide whether to complete their 3rd day of permitted running on Wednesday or Friday. Speaking after the unveiling of their SF-26 Challenger at Fiorano on Friday, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur confirmed, "We will start the test on Tuesday, and then, with the regulation, we decide which days we run from Thursday, but Thursday will also be on track. With this new regulation, it will be all about improvement, learning process, development, and this is why we are in love with F1. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc shook down the SF-26 at Fiorano on Friday. Williams, missing entire test. Williams announced on Friday that they will not take part in the opening week of testing at Barcelona after encountering delays with the development of their FW48 car. The decision means Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz will not get to drive Williams' 2026 car until the first official pre-season test in Bahrain on the 13th of February. Williams' F1 team has taken the decision not to participate in next week's shakedown test in Barcelona following delays in the FWW48 program as we continue to push for maximum car performance. A statement from the Grove-based outfit read, "The team will instead conduct a series of tests including a VTT, virtual test track program next week with the 2026 car to prepare for the first official test in Bahrain and the first race of the season in Melbourne. We are looking forward to getting on track in the coming weeks and want to thank all our fans for your continued support. There is a lot to look forward to together in 2026. The significant blow to Williams' 2026 preparations is reminiscent of when the team's car was late to pre-season testing back in 2019. Back then, Williams were in financial strife, but thankfully things have since changed under the ownership of Doralton Capital. McLaren, to join on day 2 or 3. McLaren will miss at the least the first day of running in Barcelona and may even delay running their 2026 F1 car until the third day of action. Team principal Andrea Stella explained the decision was strategic and aimed at maximising the development of the MCL40. This was always going to be Plan A, Stella told media, including Crash.net. There's so much of a change that we don't need to be necessarily the first on track. We wanted to give as much time as possible for development, because every day of development, every day of design, was adding a little bit of performance. If you are early on track, you will have the reassurance of knowing what you need to know as soon as possible. But at the same time, it means you might have committed to the design and the realisation of the car relatively early, so you will have compromised against development time and ultimate performance. Obviously, there will be updates pretty much for every car between testing and the first race, but we thought that, in the economy of a season, it was important to start and launch the car in the most competitive package and configuration. That's why we pushed all the timing to the limit, but within a very manageable limit. We didn't feel any urge to plan for testing on day 1. Audi, to start on day 1. Audi intend to be ready to roll out of their garage at 9 a.m. on the first day of the Barcelona test. This comes after they were the first F1 team to conduct a shakedown test when they ran their R26 at Barcelona on the 9th of January. Explaining the decision to get out of the blocks early, Audi technical director James Key said, "This was a decision made about 18 months ago, so we kind of knew this was coming. It wasn't a last-minute thing, but no, we wanted to, as one of only 2 new guys on the block with this. You really do need a track reference. And we agreed with our power unit colleagues that we try and hit that rack as quickly as we can." The rest of the teams are yet to announce which days they will run on, but Cadillac, Racing Bulls, Alpine and Mercedes have already conducted a shakedown with their new cars. What do you think? Write your opinion in the comments below.